Hey, welcome everybody to our Wednesday business building webinar that we do every other Wednesday. We do this to try to help each and every one of you build your business if that's what you want to do. Do me a favor. If you're here right now and you're one of the persons that really wants to build a business, what I mean is you want to build a team and you want to build your bank account, drop a 2 over in the chat box for me. Put a 2 in the chat box. If you're a person that really wants to build this business and you want to build your bank account by sharing this with others, put a 2 in the chat box. I mean, there's 51 of you here at the moment. I'm hoping there would be 51 twos in that chat box. I'm hoping. Okay. Some of you might not be able to find your numerical button to make it go into the chat, but that's fine. So let's get this thing started. So as always, I get to do this with my dear friend, Mr. Bob Bearden, out of Louisiana. As most of you know, we've been doing these businesses for a long time. We've done some together, some not together. And it's just a breath of fresh air to be able to get back home here and start building a team and building that camaraderie and building that with each and every one of you and trying to help you get to wherever that is that you want to be. And we can do that with this company. We can absolutely do that. So before I get started, let me kind of tell you where my head is before we get going. I've kind of stated this since Monday on the mastermind with Rory that for me, what I want to do now, because we understand now the company itself, they've got everything under control. They've got the drops under control. They've got the communication under control. I'm sure all of you are getting the text messages and the emails. You're getting all the information when you need to look at stuff, and drops are there. You're getting the information when there's a Zoom happening. Now there's a school community that the calendar's in there as well. You will get information. You'll be sent a message from school letting you know that there's a meeting coming up. And if you're ever in school and a meeting is going on, you see that orange flashing light that says live, that means there's a Zoom going on right now. You can just click on it. So communication is perfect.
In
It's going
school?
perfect. Mm-hmm.
I didn't
So,
know that.
yeah. So here's where I'm pivoting. I am doing a pivot, a shift. What I want to do now, because I really don't control what the office does about drops, I don't control that. The only thing that I can literally help with, I don't even control this, you do. But the only thing that I and Bob and the other leaders can really help with is helping you see how to build your bank account. And that's what I'm going to call it, because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about building a team. We're talking about sharing. We're talking about getting some extra money in your bank account. And for me, it doesn't matter to me how much extra money you want. If it's $100 a month, $50 a month, or maybe just $25 a month to cover what you're spending on your membership, perfectly fine with me. Could be 10,000, could be 5,000. What you're going to find out is no matter what that number is, whether it's $25 or 25,000, doesn't matter. Here's what you need to understand. The work involved in doing that is exactly the same. It doesn't change. Whether it's $25 or 25,000, it's the same work repeated just at 25,000. Not only are you repeating the work, you're helping the people that you bring into this community, you're helping them understand and do the work as well. Okay? So my pivot now is that I will still do opportunity meetings. Bob will still do opportunity meetings. We are still here to help you build your team. Opportunity meetings is involved in it. Trainings and teachings are involved in it. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we want to help you do. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shut up for a second. I'm going to let Mr. Bob Bearden kind of add whatever. And let me tell you something, guys. We don't really talk about this before we start. We kind of know each other well enough now. It's pretty much just off the cuff. This is done off the cuff. I don't have slides. I don't have nothing. We've done it for so long. We know what we have to do. And what we have to do is bring it to the bare minimum where it's simple for you to accomplish. And then if you want to grow that number, you just do it more often. So Over to you, Mr. Bob Bearden.
Thank you, brother. Welcome, everybody. Great to see everybody on here. I concur everything you just said. You want to make a little, work a little. You want to work a lot, right? It's the thing that I think is the most important is the consistency of keeping doing it. Now, I do have some notes. I did prepare a little bit for tonight. There's some things I just want to go over after, I talk to so many people every day, all day, whether it's a prospect or it's I'm helping somebody or they got a question or whatever. And I get a few things that are commonly asked. What do you say if they say this? What do you say if they say this? I like to have natural conversations, and I wrote down a few things. I want you to take these notes. First thing is, we are not a traditional MLM company. Okay. So get out of your head that this is like anything you've done in the past. We're a discount shopping club with a referral rewards plan. That's it. That's what we are. We're a discount shopping club. I like to use the word exclusive in there too, right? Just makes us a little special, but we're a discount shopping club. The next thing that I want you to really try to get your head out of, because all of us have been like, I've been in network marketing since 2001, right? So we've had lots of mentors, lots of trainers, lots of leaders, lots of different things. We've had products, we've had services, we've had, travel, we've had, you name it. We've all dabbled or saw it, right? So in those deals, I'm not going to say anything bad about them. I think the model's a bit broken, but in those deals, there's always a package to buy. You're looking for business builders. I mean, let's face it, how many people really have a gazillion customers in the world of the traditional MLM? It's the hardest thing to do because the prices are so high. Next thing you know, your company's selling the products on Amazon, et cetera, et cetera. So, but being involved in those kind of companies, we're always trying to do what? Get people in. And you got to get your mind out of that. You're not trying to get people in anything, nothing at all. So stop talking about a business. Stop talking about, man, I just found this new way to make money. Oh, I just found this new. All that stuff is old. It's used. It's going to immediately make people like have this preconceived notion about what you're about to say. Instead, you should talk about things like saving money. Talk about things like a new discount shopping club. Ask questions. Hey, do you shop at Amazon Prime? Right? Ask these questions. Man, a friend of mine shared this new discount shopping club with me a few weeks ago. I am freaking blown away. I said I wasn't even going to tell anybody about it, but now I can't stop telling people about it. I got to tell you about it. They got all these high end products at very low end prices. I'm talking last week, we actually got a couple of things for free. Like these $120 lights were free just because we were a member. Talk about things like examples, right? I bought this Gerber knife. It was an $89 knife for $19. I bought this beautiful, pullover from Under Armour, $70 retail for $10. Examples. Look, I'm going to shoot you a link. You got to check this out. Now, I don't only send people my registration link, by the way. I do send that, but I also send them a direct link to previous drops. Like if you go into FunSaver Network and click on previous drops, that is an actual link that will work for everyone. They can't buy. The beautiful thing that Shane understands is direct sales. You can't join the company by clicking a button at the corporate site. So you don't have to worry about somebody joining. So I send them I said, listen, I'm going to send you this previous drops page. You got to see this. I just send them that link so they can look. I'm going to send you a link that has a lot of the products. Now, my next thing I say that I have written down here, you got to stop using the word drops to a prospect and try to explain drops. You're confusing people. I think some of you probably explain it in a confusing way. People have not heard about drop. I didn't even know what the heck a drop was, right? So if you're trying to say that to a prospect, you're going to lose them Like, oh, well, what does that mean? And then you're going to go off in a tangent and trying to explain all this stuff. Just avoid that by not saying that. Just say, listen, I'm going to send you a page of all these exclusive products that they gave us at extremely low prices. Like I was saying, this Under Armour sweat pullover for $10. I got a free, beautiful oak light last week for free. I paid shipping. That was it. It was $7 shipping. I'm going to send you that. Look at all these incredible discounts. And then you could send them a link to the front home page of the website so they can look at it. The website's awesome, man. They did a great job building that website. It looks good. It's going to get better and better and better, but it's good. It's good enough. I'm proud to show that to people. Right? The logo's cool. There's no typos. Like it's good. And then of course in that text too, I'll have like, hey, by the way, if you like what you see, you can register for free. Click on this link. Right. So let me just recap and then I'm going to move into something real quick about what I think you should focus on building the business. I think will make it easier. This is not a traditional MLM company, number one. Number two, you don't want to be getting people in anything. You want to be excited about saving money. Number three, stop trying to explain the drops. And I know a lot of people are doing that because they're asking me, oh, well, you know, my buddy didn't really know what a drop was or whatever. Right? They're going to ask you a million questions when you start saying stuff they're not familiar with. And what happens is, as human beings, not just you, because maybe you've never done this before, or you know, this is new or whatever. Me too, Ron too. We're human beings. So when people ask questions, we want to be helpful and we want to answer questions. Next thing you know, you're talking to somebody for 30 minutes about drops. That's not the point. The point is extreme savings in an exclusive membership club. That's it. Now you just spent all this time trying to explain drops and now they're either confused or whatever. So keep it simple. You know, I would say, look, the company gets products at extremely low prices and they pass the savings on to the members. The company has a lot of different offerings, but that's the gist of really what Fund Saver Network's about. They are able to purchase products at extremely low prices and they pass that savings on to all their members. Well, Bob, how do they do that? I don't know exactly. All I know is I got a free light last week. All I know is I bought this whole lighting kit, a beautiful, like mega lumens light in case I run out of electricity. Came with a flashlight, came with this cool light that went over my head in case I'm working on my car, or I'm in the attic or whatever. By the way, that headlight has come in very handy for me already. I go up into the attic or I'm looking under my daughter's car. Hey, there's a noise under the car. It really did come in handy. Now, let me go get that light. But anyway, that was $12 for all three of them, right? So when they ask me, how do they do that? How in the world do they? Don't ask me. Just like I don't know how that electricity got to my house. I just know when I turn that light switch on, the light turns on. I don't know. All I know is I got this discount. I got this. One of our members saved $971 in her very first order. Always remember, it doesn't matter if it's Fun Saver Network or you're out selling cars. If you're a car salesman and you got crappy numbers, focus on telling stories, not facts. Stories sell. That'll never change. Ever, ever, ever will never change. You want to persuade somebody, and you want to really get good at persuading. You notice I say persuading, not manipulating. There's positive persuading. You're trying to get people to open up their mind so they'll listen to more or they'll be open-minded to look at the website. Tell a story, man. That always will get their mind open. So when they say, well, how is that? Or what is, look, I don't know for sure. All I know is, and tell a story. And that works. Okay. That's why it's important to be on a lot of the Zooms when people are telling testimonials. You should be writing down these stories of what people are saying. Okay. So that's that part of it. Let's talk about making money.
Wait,
Okay.
before you go
Okay.
forward,
Okay.
we're going to get into that next. But before you
Okay.
do, I want to share something because Bob said it two times. He said, We are not a traditional MLM company. He's 100% right. And let me tell you why that is, if you've wondered, because yes, we have a compensation plan that represents an MLM company, but there's one factor that makes us different than your traditional MLM company. That factor is this: most of your MLM companies, you got to pay one price to be a customer of the company. And then if you want to make money with the company, you have to pay more money. That's called pay to play in an MLM company. See, we don't do that. Everybody that comes in at 25, that's all you want to come in as, everybody's on a level playing field. You don't have to pay more to be able to go build a team if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. If you want to, it's there for you. But everybody across the board is only paying $25 a month. Because what's going to happen is, as we start growing and you start building a team, you're going to have these negative Nancy's that's going to tell you, oh, you said it's not an MLM company and you got an MLM comp plan. You're a liar. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. So
Traditional.
be sure you say, no, I said we're not a traditional MLM company. Those we're not. So just make sure that that's the correct vocabulary you're using when you're
Very good.
it's going to help you in the long run. And one thing that I want to share, because he just said something else that's super important about telling stories. We've all heard stories sell and facts tell. We know this. So my good friend that's on here, Mr. Dave Regis, a week ago on the mindset meeting with Rory, he brought something back to my attention that I haven't heard in ages. I'm sorry, Dave, we're about the same age, but it's been a long time. He reminded me. And what Dave does, and this is strictly up to you, you don't have to do this, but it'll save you some time. What Dave does before he starts talking to somebody about Fund Saver Network, he qualifies them first to see if they're even worth talking to. And what he does that saves him a lot of time, he'll tell a story. And in that story, you could literally go, you know, I was talking to my buddy Bob the other day. You will not believe the story. And you know, I got one thing in mind and I asked Bob, I said, you know, everybody wants something in life. You know, everybody wants more of something and less of something. Bob, what was it for you? And I'll make this story to somebody I'm telling, I'll go, let me ask you, what is it you want more of in life or less of in life? That's a qualifying question.
I like that, man. That's good.
You can thank Dave, he's on here. And if they go, well, God, I'd love to have more money. What do you want less of? Stress. Okay. He qualifies for you to introduce him or her to Fund Saver Network. If they go, I don't need anything. Fantastic. You're set. Have a good day. Because if you didn't know that, you would sit there and talk for maybe 5 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, maybe 10. I don't know. And the whole time this person is thinking, I don't need to hear anything you're telling me. I'm good. But they won't tell you that. So, you know, it's MOLO. More of, less of. More of, less of. And another thing that you guys and ladies can do, kind of like the Cub Scouts, kind of like the Boy Scouts, kind of like that, which is ABR, always be ready. Always be ready. Here's what I mean. How many of you have sat down and really thought about, what is my 2-minute elevator pitch? What is my 2-minute elevator pitch? You got to get this 2-minute elevator pitch down. You got to know it like the back of your hand. Because when you say, hey, nice to meet you, and have a casual conversation, you go, by the way, what do you do? And they tell you, then they go, what do you do? You better be ready. You better be ready. Don't start stumbling. Well, I belong to this company and we got these things. That's not going to work. It's not going to work. It could be as simple as you going, well, here's what I do. I teach people just like you. I introduce them to a company where you can buy products at 70 to 90% off. That's what I do. I save people money. It can be that simple. And they're going to go, what is that? Oh, you got your phone? Here, go here, type that in. It can be that simple. But what the problem is, and we all suffered from this. This comes with experience, this comes with time. But we're so excited. It's perfect. It's human nature. We're so excited, we want to tell them everything. And the problem is when you're doing that, whether you know it or not, that human being that you're talking to, if it's on the phone, if it's in person, doesn't matter. The whole time they're listening to you, here's what they're thinking: can I do what you're doing? Even if it interests me, can I do what you're doing? And if you make it too difficult, even if they love it, they're going to go, not for me. I can't do what you just did. So the more simple you make that, oh, well, here's what I do. I take people just like you. I introduce them to this awesome exclusive shopping club, and you get to buy products for 70 to 90% off. And it can be that easy. So that's all I wanted to say about that. I want to kind of cover that with you. Back to Mr. Bob Beard. He's going to talk about
That's
lead.
awesome, dude. You struck a chord on one thing too. I want to say, I forgot to say, be careful leading with it's free. Okay, because you don't want to mislead people. They join and they think it's free, and then all of a sudden 7 days goes by and now they got to pay. You told them it was free, right? You can try it out for free and no one's going to take your credit card. It's not a trial. It's not like put your credit card in and after 7 days they're going to charge you because you forgot. None of that. If you decide you want to keep it, you love the membership, you see value, you can pay. It's only $25 a month. Okay.
Yep.
Just be careful with that because I don't want anybody, you said it was free and all that stuff, right? Just like traditional MLM. It's not a traditional MLM. That was a good point, Ron. Okay. All right. Now, there could be some people that listen, we're not the end all be all. Ron, I think, as we continue to grow this training and more people are coming here, next 90 days, there's going to be 300, 400, 500 people that come to this. There are so many leaders in this group already.
Mm-hmm.
Some of you don't know I know you or know who you are, right? I've saw you, from Ron's page, and I know you got a history of the game. You've done great. Listen, all of you guys got great value to bring to this whole community. So and just reach out to Ron and we can end up making this to where you're doing part of the training, right? Or you're doing the training. We're just starting it because we're just getting started, right? So we can give you guys some good pointers and some
Yeah,
tips
this
that
is
have helped
definitely
them.
not the Ron and Bob show.
Right.
Play
That's kind of
anytime
right.
you want. Just let us
Right.
know.
Now, and that goes to as this thing starts to kick off and we launch, that goes for the presenting as well, by the way, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I know we got a lot of great presenters, and guess what? We need some women intertwined in there. We need
Yes.
multicultural intertwined in there. Like we need it all, right? Everybody needs to hear from everybody. We just getting this train rolling. So I really wanted to point that out because I know there's people here that are a lot better than me, right? So whatever I can lead and hand out that's worked for me, great. I'm honored to do it. But I want to talk for a minute about, making money and especially in this kind of model. Okay. This model is so simple. A lot of people miss a little can become a lot, right? How in the world can I make a lot of money on, making $1 or $5? Like literally, it can steamroll into momentum where you make a lot, but you have to get the momentum going. You have to be the one that actually starts pushing the boulder, right? If you're waiting for somebody to come up behind you or somebody to spill under you or for your sponsor to start pushing that boulder for you, you could be waiting a long, long time. The difference between leaders you see in entrepreneurship, I don't care if somebody opened a shoe store and they were wildly successful, or they created a gadget and they became wildly successful, or they're in MLM. It doesn't matter. The leaders that you see that really go to the top, they push the boulder. They're the ones creating the momentum. They'll create things for their teams, et cetera, et cetera. The beautiful thing for you guys here is you don't necessarily have to, if you are a leader already, you don't have to create any tools or nothing. Like everything's already here, which is great time saver. but the boulder has to begin to be pushed. Now, what I want to point out is, what should be your first financial goal? I want to make 500 a month. Nope, that's not it. Oh, I want to make $1,000 a month. That shouldn't be the first goal. The very first goal should be you wipe out the cost of your membership.
Yep.
Like that should be your first goal. So being a part of Fund Saver is costing you nothing. Now, many of us that have been in this game a long time, that's nothing new. What do I got to do to make sure I pay for my auto ship, right? Here's the best part. Most companies are 100, 150 bucks a month auto ship. We're talking about $25. What is that formula? Refer 6 people. 6 paying members that you referred, 26 bucks a month. How do I get that number? Well, how come you guys always talk about 5, 5, 5? Strive for 5. Strive for 5 is the driver for sure, because in the coded bonus, when you refer 5, only 2 are passed up. But if you refer 5 and 2 are passed up just for the $5 coded bonus, how many does that leave you to earn $5 on? 3. How much is 5 times 3? 15. But if you referred 5, they're still in your matrix. How much do you get on each person in your matrix? $1. So that would be $20. Okay, great. Help somebody refer somebody else. You'll probably make that extra $5 anyway. But if you want to get ahead of the game, 6 people, 2 are passed up. 4 times 5 is 20. There's 6 people in your matrix. That's another $6. You're at $26. Your membership's covered.
You're even.
You gonna say something on that?
Yeah. Yeah, you're even at 26, and that's perfectly fine. But I know you're going to go to the fast start, right? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm
That's
not
next.
saying nothing. Go ahead. I'm not saying nothing.
Okay. Okay. So monthly, there's nothing coming out of your pocket. Yeah, you're going to pay your membership. Yes, your debit card's going to get charged 25 bucks, but you're also going to get a commission of 25 bucks. Okay. Now, that's not to say, let's just say those 6 people didn't even buy anything in the vault. They just joined. So on those joined $25, how much do you make? Anybody type in the chat. I should have been saying this the whole time. Let's see if people are paying attention. How much do you make when somebody joins their very first month as a fast start bonus on 25 bucks?
Yeah, I'm not. Yep.
Wrong Jim, wrong D. Oh, okay, you just didn't put decimals. You were right.
Put the
You were
dot.
right. D was right. D was right. I'm like, 1,250 bucks. That would be awesome. Yeah. All right, $12.50. So $12.50, guess what? Even though 2 of your 6 were passed up, you still get the fast start bonus. That fast start bonus does not pass up to that sponsor. So 12.50 times 6, you're looking at 75 bucks you just put in your pocket.
Yep.
So you refer 6. Number 1, you covered your first month membership and maybe even something you bought in the vault, right? So 75 bucks, but you're making $26 a month. Covers your membership. Now you think, well, I want to make way more than that. I am telling you, do not overlook this. If you just teach those 6 people to get their membership covered, and they taught their 6 people to get their membership covered, and they taught theirs, if all we did was teach people to get their membership covered, that check's going to grow exponentially. The coded bonus is going to take care of itself. The matrix is going to fill up. You're getting $1 on all of them. There needs to be, what I was thinking about this whole weekend is, what is the driver, right? What is driving the momentum? Who wants to pay for something? Here's the beautiful thing. Most of us probably have one or all of Netflix, Hulu, Prime, Costco, Sam's Club, all of that stuff. We all have it. Every one of your friends is tuned into membership based stuff. They all are. The difference is that we get paid if we refer it. And it doesn't seem like a lot. So I think a lot of times people don't want to put in a lot of effort because it doesn't seem like a lot. I'm telling you, that is the driver. Help people get that paid. Now, I wrote this down. This is a little example. I'll turn it over to you, Ron. You can kind of take over from here. But I wrote this as a little example down. As a part timer, a lot of people have jobs. A lot of people are not doing this full time. Obviously, if you got all the time in the world on your hands, you can quadruple what I'm about to say. But in your first month, and let me say something. You're going to hear me saying this a lot, especially to my team. When we get started, when this launches live, that's really the start date. I don't care how many people I have in place. It's like the start date is now. And now I'm going to go get my 5 or 6, right? Not, well, I already got 15 or 20 or 30, or you're like, Carly, you got 80, right? It's Carly, right? Or is it Callie? One of them has 80 something already. Ridiculous. I don't know if anyone's passed her yet, but regardless of that, we're in this free launch phase. When it launches and it starts, let's call that the start date. Boom, we're starting right now. And if we all follow this simple philosophy, get your membership covered, which a lot of you will already have that done when we launch, but pretend you don't. You go refer 6 members, okay, in your first month. If you teach this to all your new people in your first month, not get 6 members whenever, here's what I know about a goal. If there's no time stamp to that goal, it's probably not going to happen, right? When you have a deadline, how many of you know, how many of you been at a job where you had a quota or something and you had to get it done by the end of the month, or there was a deadline on anything really? Or how about this? When we were in school and we knew we had a test on Tuesday, but we knew about this test for 10 days. When did we really start studying? Monday. It's just this crazy human nature that at the end of the deadline, we will go and push and do whatever we have to do to make that happen so that we can get a good grade on the test, or we can get that extra bonus at work, or whatever it is. So without the deadline, it could just go on forever. It's like, oh, well, I didn't hit it, whatever. So that's why it's important. Any goal setting training you go through, that's one of the main things they talk about is this timestamp on your goal, whatever it is. Okay. So what I'm telling you is month 1, 6 members. Now, some of you might be going, I'm going to do 60. I'm going to do 20. Well, whatever. That's great. Good for you. That's awesome. Network marketing is about getting a large group of people to do a few simple things consistently over a long period of time. That's what this is. Creating a large group of people doing a few simple things consistently over a long period of time. Okay. So 6 your first month. That's 1 a week. 2 of those weeks you did 1 extra. Okay. You pushed yourself a little bit. Now, if you just steadily for the rest of the year, 11 months, just did 1 a week, just 1 a week yourself, 1 a week. You're staying consistent. If you stay consistent, so will your team. But if you just did 1 a week, that's 4 a month. So by the end of 12 months, you would have done 50 yourself personally. That's doable for every one of you, by the way. You might think, oh my God, 50 right out the gate is a lot for you, and maybe it is. I can't wait till Ron and Jim and you guys really do these TikTok trainings, because it's freaking blowing my mind. You know, they're the number 1 recruiters, or I should say referrers in Fund Saver Network right now are the TikTokers. And we're not talking about influential TikTokers with 2 million followers. Right. We're talking about people that just like getting on and hanging out and talking and whatever. I mean, it's really encouraging when I see what you guys are doing and the amount of people you're attracting. However, 50, 60 people. Every single one of you here can do that in a 12-month period of time. What is the most important thing of that? Getting it started the first month with those 6 people. Now your membership's covered. Now you're never going to be out of pocket. Now you can teach the same thing. It's hard to teach it if you didn't do it. But once you do and accomplish it, you can look back at what you did and you can teach that. Now, if you did that, you have 50 people at the end of 12 months personally, 48 of them coded to you. That'd be an extra almost $3,000 a year. If nobody else did anything, you got no spillover, nothing. Now, I know that's not like tearing the world apart, but $3,000 would be a pretty cool family vacation. $3,000 if you're single or just a husband and wife, be a pretty cool. Maybe you go to Paris, maybe you go to the UK, whatever. $3,000 saved up over a year could do a lot of cool things for fun to reward yourself. Now, here's where it gets exciting. If you did stand up and help those people, if you just help those people refer that 5, strive for 5, it's 250 brand new people. Of the 48 that are yours, you help them do 5, guess what? 96 of them are coded to you. 96 times 5, how much money is that? Quite a bit. I didn't write that number down, but watch this. But what? I did write the next number because you already had 48 coded to you. So
Right.
I added the 96 and 48. That would be 144 people coded to you at $5 a piece, which is 720. You would then have 300 people in your matrix, which is another $300. So now you're making $1,000 a month or $12,240 a year part-time. How did you do it? I came in, I referred my 6 and got my membership covered, and I taught those people to do the same thing. See,
Yep.
people think in order to make big money in network marketing, you got to do a tremendous amount. You don't. You have to get the boulder moving, and the boulder is never going to move unless you start pushing it first. Before you know it, you got 5 people in your group, right? That means 5 people are pushing the boulder. Next thing you know, you got 30 people pushing the boulder, and then you got 300. Before you know it, that boulder's taking off with momentum. You're not even doing anything. And I'm telling you, these numbers are so low that if you referred 6 and you referred 1 a month and you plugged in and you helped those people and you became the leader you want to be, and listen, people overestimate what a leader is also. A leader is somebody who's constantly learning, who's staying consistent in the activity and shows up. That's a leader. Okay? Period. You don't need to know all kinds of technical skills. You don't need to be a great salesperson. You need to figure out what the activity you need to do is, stay true to the simple activities to do the bare minimum, which is 1 a week, and then just teach that and it will duplicate and that will take off. And I can tell you right now, if you did 6 your first month, stayed consistent with 1 a week, and you taught that, the number at the end of the year is not going to be 300 people on it.
Oh no.
I can guarantee you
No.
that. It's
No.
gonna be, if not multiple hundreds, it'll be a few thousand people. And
Correct.
your check after 1 year of hard work will probably replace what your job's salary is. But again, let's go back to the beginning. It doesn't just magically happen. No leaders that are making a lot of money in any industry, they stepped in because the job. Because here's what I know for sure. Clyde, Ron, Cheryl, Jane, Philip, Mike. I'm just reading names off the screen. Myself, we all have the same company we're in. We all have the same exact referral compensation plan, and we all have the same timing. We all have the exact same thing. The only difference, the reason Phil might make more money than Jane, or Jane might make more money than Cheryl, is because they just spent more time and took more effort to stay consistent in doing what they're doing. I have never seen in my 25 years all of the components that are crucial to really making significant income. I've never had the opportunity. It's never lined up for me. I'm not saying it hasn't ever lined up. It's never lined up for me, meaning a paradigm shift of something new and fresh that kind of changes the way a model's been done for years. Well, that's what FundSaver's done. An opportunity that allows the masses to participate without any expectation of making money. I'm telling you right now, all of our friends will be a part of the Fund Saver Network as this continues to grow just because of the savings, with no thought of even referring their brother. None of that, right? This appeals to the masses. A compensation plan that's based off of a $25 membership that can pay this heavy by helping other people save money. Never happened to me before. And then the last component is the timing. Like, this is brand new. Nobody knows about this. There's 63 people on this training tonight. There'll be 630 people on this training in the next 6 months, probably. So timing is everything. And I've been involved in opportunities where they had a good product, crappy model, old school philosophies, whatever. I've been in an opportunity where they had crappy products, great timing. It's a hype. It worked good for 6 months and died, fizzled out, gone. I'm telling you, this is like, in my opinion, what Shane is onto with this model without any of us is a really cool shift in the way people buy and save money. And you have to buy into that philosophy. That's what it really is driving this. That's what has me excited, regardless if I'm going to make $500 next month or $1,000. I know I can see already what the income will be 12 months from today. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to make any money for 12 months. It just means that my goal money, like what I really would like to see happen, I can already see that already there 12 months from now. And it's probably going to supersede what my goal number is anyway. Okay, so you got to be able to see that vision. But we are sitting poised right now in a position to take advantage of all of these elements coming together. It's just a matter of how much do you believe that? How bought in are you? How plugged in are you? How excited about it are you? Are you focused on the fact that, this little minor glitch happened, or we haven't launched yet, so you're all negged out? What are you focused on? Right? Because literally what you focus on, what you think about, you'll bring about. It'll mess up the energy all around you. This isn't that type of training, but that's the truth. And just know this is about to be the best thing we've all ever done. I'm just extremely, honored to be a part of it. And I think that we're going to learn a lot. And again, I believe that there's people right now, even on this Zoom, that are going to help me grow, that are going to be able to give me information, that are going to help me take my life to another level. One thing I know for sure, I learned this a long time ago: you're either living or you're dying. And the way you keep living is you keep growing and you keep reading and you keep personal development and growth. And, you have to learn from others. And so all I'm trying to do tonight is give you guys some nuggets of what have literally worked for me over the last 20 years to be able to take me from this beginner rookie. 7 years of network marketing, I made $5,000 in 7 years. Right? It took me that 8th year to break through, didn't even hit 50,000 that year, but that was quite a difference between 7 years of 5 grand and that next year where I finally started to get it. I made 49,000 on my 1099 that year. And I've never looked back ever since. But I've had peaks and valleys. We all have peaks and valleys. We all go through stuff. Life throws stuff in our way. Our plate is never empty. Oh, when I get this done, I'll spend more time on this. I got news for you. As soon as you get this done, something else is going to drop on the plate. Oh man, I'm really going through it right now. Okay, well, when you get out of that storm, guess what? It's only going to be a period of time before another storm comes. That's just something called life. And when you can understand how to control your emotions through that, and you can keep growing through that, then the peaks and valleys won't be like this anymore. They'll be more like this. Yeah, you're going to have some downtimes. Yeah, you're going to lose some money. Yeah, things are going to happen. And you're going to have months where you make tremendous amount, or you have just incredible month for all sorts of reasons. But to be able to keep that steady peaks and valleys, because we're all going to have ebbs and flows. But I'll just say this in my last statement. I personally have never been aligned with the timing, with the company, with a product, with an opportunity for the masses than this. And I'm personally going to take serious advantage of it. And I hope every one of you do as well. So, Ron, thanks for calling me, partner. Appreciate it. And I'll
Thank you, Bob.
hand it over to you,
I,
brother.
I don't, there's not a whole lot I can add to what he just went through. There's really not. Um, just a couple of things. If I was to sum up what he said, it's just about taking action. That's it. It's just about taking action. Are you really serious about changing whatever it is you want to change? Because that's what it comes down to. I mean, do you believe in the process? Do you trust the process? And when I say process, I'm not talking about Fun Saver Network in Chattanooga, Tennessee. They got that process down. It's been proven. The process I'm talking about is the process that goes on here between your two ears. That process. Do you believe in that process? Because as Bob said, every single day there's going to be things that invade your thought processing that's going to tell you, well, I can't do it right now. I got to do something else. There's going to be things that's going to happen when you're talking to people that they're going to go, you're going to think, I can't do this. Words are important. When you tell yourself certain things, what you think about come about. It's just the way the world works. I don't control that energy. It's just that's the way it is. Okay. And for those of you that has been involved in this wonderful, wonderful industry of network marketing, how many of you drop a one in the chat if you've heard this phrase before? Open the month and close the month. Open the month and close the month. How many of you heard, well, I got to open the month and I got to close the month? How many of you heard this before? Over and over and over. Here's my only thing I have to say about that. Why does that phrase even come out of somebody's mouth? You know why? It's exactly because of what Bob said before. It's about a deadline. People, when a new month opens, they're fired up. Boy, I'm going to have a great month this month. And they'll hit it real hard for about a week. And they go, all right, I'm going to sit back and relax because the last week of the month, I'm going to hit it again. And normally what happens at the last week of the month, you go to your back office, you look at all the people that you personally sponsored, you see if they're real close to hitting that next level, because if they hit that next level, you make more money. So now you look at all the people on their team and you call all the people on their team and go, we're going to have a rally call, and we got to have a rally call for Jane Suma because she's going to hit the next level. And the reason you're having a rally call is just to change your paycheck. That's why you're doing it. But you'll say, listen, when your time comes, we're going to do it for you when your time comes. But it's Jane's time right now. So what I need all of you to do that's in Jane's business, I need you to go purchase some products so we can get her to that next level. Y'all understand what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Have you? I've been here so many times. It's like a reoccurring nightmare for me.
Yeah.
But with Fun Saver Network, you don't have to do that because we don't
Amen.
care if you buy product or not. You're not getting paid on it. It's all about memberships. That's it. And as long as we can show value in the memberships, people will continue to pay for it. And for the ones that want to go and get their membership paid for by bringing in 6 new members, let's go do that. Because people get intimidated by big numbers. I'm not saying any of you personally, But when I start talking about making $20,000 a month, you realize there's very few people that's ever done that, especially in network marketing, right?
Less than 1% of everyone that joins, bro.
Right. And when I start talking about doing that, I already know. I've seen it from stage talking to people. I've seen people's faces like, I can't do that. There's, I don't know very many people that can do that. I can't do that. So when we start talking about big numbers, it's very intimidating because immediately your human nature shuts down because the first thing that comes in your mind, if it's that easy to make 20 grand, everybody would do it. Well, no, it's not easy. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of teamwork. It's a lot of getting your people to help them. It's a lot of work. But let me tell you what's not a lot of work. Bringing in 6 members. So if we condense down the big number to the small number, kind of like a road plan, a roadmap, and you take that roadmap and you just repeat, lather, rinse, repeat, lather, rinse, repeat, and you keep doing it over a matter of time, those compound numbers grow exponentially. And when those compound numbers grow exponentially, especially when you break down something to a simple equation, that people can go, well, I can do that. Because if I go, Franco, we're going to go make 20,000, bro. I know you can do it. Franco's going to go, yeah, I can do it. But the first month he gets only 2 people. He goes, guess what? I can't do it. That's what happens. That thing between your ears is so powerful. It can get you there, but it can also hold you back, like pulling the reins on a racehorse. If you allow that to happen. So keep everything to the simplest factor. The simplest factor. Let's just get 6. You're going to notice that a lot of these conversations are moving to this. And it's moving to this because, as I stated yesterday, it's time now. It's time for the people that want to build a business to start focusing on building a business. What I mean by that is start getting your 2-minute elevator pitch together. Start getting this together. Start getting yourself prepared. Start calling your people that you've already brought in for free. Listen, I hear it already. Man, I've called them. They don't answer. They don't text back. They don't do emails. Okay, move on. But you tried it. You tried it. You got to try to let them know. Try to get them into the school. Now you got something else you can send them. Go into your back office on your personals. Go, hey, here's a free community where we're talking about everything. Just go get in there. Send them the link to school. All the trainings, all the teachings, all the people in there being positive. I love this company. I love the drops. I'm saving it. There's a lot of stuff going on in there right now. Right now. If you just get them in there, this stuff starts rubbing off. It starts becoming contagious. People start going, what? I talked to Shane today, and here's what Shane told me. He goes, you're not going to believe it. I said, what? He goes, I talked to some people over the weekend trying to explain the drops that we're doing and how much money people are saving. And one of them flat out told me, it's not real. It's not real. People's mind has become so clouded that whenever they hear something like that, they think there's a catch. But there's not. There's really not. And I read something before that was in the chat. Somebody said something about, is it worth $300 to make 500 or save 500? Well, I don't even know what it was. And I'm just going to be honest. If somebody approached me that way, I would go, no, thank you. Because it sounds to me like a loaded question and I'm scared to answer it. I'm not going to answer that question. Don't make this hard. Just do what we've been talking about. Hey, new company out there. Save 70 to 90% on buying goods that you already buy. Here, check it out. I'm not talking about saving 300 to do 5. No, I'm not. Because please, everybody write this down. Please write this down. A person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. You'll never change that. You'll never change that. If I'm talking to my buddy, Uncle Mike, and I'm talking to him about Fun Saver Network, and he's kind of just listening, and I'm struggling, and I'm telling him everything, and I convinced Mike to go ahead and do it, even though I convinced him to do it, his opinion's still the same. He's not going to do anything with it. So his opinion doesn't change just because I got him to do it. You got to understand to let them look at it and let it be their decision. Because I would much rather have 50 people that's going to go build with me than 500 that's doing nothing. I just would. Because I might get 500 to pay this month and they don't buy anything. And if they don't buy anything and they don't see the value, they might be gone the next month. You might go, I don't want this anymore. You know, that is a possibility. I'm not saying it's a probability. So if you're bringing people into the fold and you're not staying with them to help them understand what's going on here and how it works and getting them to these webinars and getting them to these meetings, I don't know how it's going to work out for you. I really don't. And so use the resources that you literally have. And don't ever let this happen to you. If you're actively building a business and you're inviting people to the Zoom meetings and the webinars we're having, you better show up if you're inviting people. I can't tell you how many people I've called and said, you had people on my webinar. Why was you not there? Ron, I don't need to see it. I've seen it 50 times already. I know it like the back of my hand. It's not about you. When you bring people to a webinar, they're looking for you. You invited them. You better be there. I don't care if you've seen it 1,000 times, because the minute they show up and you're not there, they're not going to call you. They're just never going to come again. That's what's going to happen. So when you make that decision to change your life, change your bank account, whatever that decision is, that decision has to encompass other people. You can't do this on your own. It's impossible, because the only way you build a team is by introducing other members. It doesn't mean they're going to build anything, but you're looking for the ones that are. Okay? So you just keep bringing members in. You find the ones that want to go repeat what you're doing, which is bring in 6 members. That's the first step to break even. Actually, it's more, 75 plus 26 a month. Okay? So what else do I have here? Oh, when Bob was saying that we all have the same company, we all have the same comp plan, we all have the same drops, we all have the same everything, he left one thing out. We all have the same free social sites to share on. It's free. It costs you nothing to have Facebook. It costs you nothing to have TikTok. It costs you nothing to have Instagram. It's free. And it reaches millions. Millions. Yeah, go to the Thumb Olympics. Get ready, because last thing, it is absolutely 100% true that social works, because there are people in this business right now. And listen, we're all doing fantastic, but I need to make a point here. The people that are on TikTok, that are doing things on TikTok, that are talking on TikTok, that are going live on TikTok, you might not know this, but I do. They are bringing in more free members than anybody else. Why do I say that? Not because they're better than you, not because you can't do it, just because maybe you don't realize that that free social site over there, how strong it really is. And maybe you've been thinking this whole time, I don't want to do TikTok. That's one of them Chinese companies, and I don't like Chinese companies coming in here trying to do the things that they do. Or you might be thinking, they're going to that thing down and it's going to go away. Okay, so what if they do? If they close down TikTok, all those millions of people, where are they going? Because wherever they go, you're going. So it's not going to change. It's not going to change. I'll only tell you this because I need you to write down 3 things. I want you to write down TikTok, I want you to write down Canva, and I want you to write down Chat GPT. Folks, I'm going to tell you something. If you learn how to do those three things, and we're going to help you. We're going to start doing classes on each one of them and what to do for free. If you learn how to do these three things, you have just opened up the gates to become a monster, because there's nothing that can hold you back. You have the ability to do everything you need to build a monstrosity of a team. And now you have the ability to teach people what you know. It's not about getting information and keeping it to yourself. Not in this business. I can understand it in other businesses. It's about learning information here and sharing that information with as many people as possible. Because all you want to do is pay it forward. That's all you want to do. Pay it forward. That's it. So we've been here hour and 4 minutes, and I am finished, folks. This was a great, great Wednesday night. An awesome Wednesday night. And we are absolutely going to do this together. And all I can tell you is, if you think Fun Saver Network is exciting at the moment, and it is, you've seen nothing yet. Nothing yet. What we're going to do with Fun Saver Network is going to be something that you can't even imagine right now. Can't even imagine. And I know you're thinking, oh, yeah, right, Ron, you don't even have the thing done where we can get paid yet. Sorry. Sorry. I'm not going to give it to you until I know it's right. Sorry. Because what I don't want is, I don't want Cheryl Church, or I don't want Jim or somebody calling me going, hey, y'all messed up my pay. Mm-mm. No, I don't want that. I'm going to make sure it's correct. But I can tell you, just so you know, I'll give you a heads up. When I know that it's 100% correct, and we're much, much closer, when I know, I will let everybody know one of these Zooms you're going to come to, and it's going to be about, here's your 5-day window. The countdown starts today. And in that 5-day window, you better be ready to call everybody you ever brought into this thing. I don't care how you got to do it. I don't care if you got to borrow your wife's phone that's got a different phone number so they don't recognize you. Whatever you got to do, you better contact them. You better get them, and you better get them ready, and you better have them going, because during that 5 days, do you know what you're doing? You're going back to everybody that you brought in that hasn't been paying attention to the emails or the text, nothing. They're not showing up to nothing. And you're taking that one last shot at them to let them know, because when they're gone, that position no longer belongs to them. They're out. They're gone. Okay. You are building your bank accounts. So if you're serious about making sure you have your 6 coming out of the gate, you got that 5-day window. You're going to know when it is. So close us out, Bob. I'm ready to get out of here.
Hey man, I'm good. I appreciate all that. I was going to tell you to make sure you mentioned something about TikTok, because all the tips you've been giving me, I just got to get my butt consistent on it, right? We all struggle with consistency in different areas of our lives for sure. But man, the simplicity of it all, and I'm looking forward to you doing those Zooms. Not about necessarily the, like somebody asked in the chat, how do I, get more followers to go live? I mean, some of the things you were sharing with me today were ridiculous. And I just want to end on this last thing. If we're all in school together, that means we're all in this game together. If you're not following me on TikTok, please follow me. If I'm not following you on TikTok, I will, right? I'll follow you back. Imagine you only need, what do you need, Ron, in a business account? 500 followers to go live, right? 500 followers.
500 followers.
Okay, so we got 4,000 or 5,000 people in this thing in the next couple of months. I mean, there's 2,300 already. So what if we all followed each other? We all got 500 people.
So right now
So
in school, I did make that extra link, Bob, that
yeah,
everybody can put their TikTok handle in there.
Okay,
We can
cool.
all just go start following each other. Imagine
Perfect.
when there's 1,000 people in there and you're just able to go in there and click follow, 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 and they follow you back. Within one day, you got 500. You can go live.
That's right. Yep. That was a big eye opener to me today. Not to mention some of the great tips you gave me on how to organically grow followers. And, one thing you said to me was like, look, don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. Just start doing it every day, man, and the followers will happen. And that's on me, right? To stay consistent on that. And so I'm going to start doing that myself. But yeah, I just thought it was really cool. We could all follow each other. That'll help that happen. And then I think you're going to start seeing a lot more, these hour, 2 hour hangouts that you guys are doing on Friday nights popping up all over the place because it's really, really cool. And I know you guys are getting members from that, but you're also gaining more followers. There's more people watching. There's so many advantages to it. I really like it. I think that a lot of us probably have just gotten burned out on social media. Those of you that are like me that are not really using TikTok. First there was Facebook, then there was Twitter, and then there was LinkedIn, and then there was this, and then there was Instagram, and then there was that, and then there was and it's like, oh my God, like, how do I keep up on all of these freaking social media? Right. That's how I got. Like, if you go to my Facebook wall, like, I don't hardly do anything on social media. I'm on that phone. My phone dies 3 times a day. I got charged 3 times. Right. So I'm a phone guy. But Ron keeps telling me, bro, you need to work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
And so that's what it's all about. So I want, when you said, I think that's really cool what when you were talking earlier about who was it? I can't remember who you said it was. Maybe Mike or Dave that
Oh,
had
Dave.
yeah when he
More of
said
less of. More of less of.
yeah, more of less of, right. So it's so funny how like one of the things I want more of is my time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want more of. And
Mm-hmm.
I want the feeling, believe it or not, people say, what do you mean, man? I call you twice a week and you're on the golf course. Okay. I do take some time for myself, so I shouldn't necessarily say my time. I want completely focused time on what I'm doing because every time I'm doing something for me, whether I'm golfing or I go to the movies with my daughters or we're watching the game together, whatever, always thinking about I should be working, I should be this, I should be that. So that really hit home for me. It's like we should all be asking ourselves that. What do we want more of? What do we want less of? And that just ties into this whole TikTok thing, working smarter, not harder. It's going to buy back a lot of time. Obviously, we're looking for people that don't need us to handhold and babysit them, right? And at the end of the day, it takes going through lots and lots and lots of people to find those ones that really want to go. But I can promise you this: you find one person in each one of your 3 legs. One person, just one person, one, and that's good that will do it like you do it. That's all I'm always looking for. 3 people that will do like I do. Just plug in, stay consistent, want to grow, etc. They don't have to be at my same level, but want to do it. It'll take off, and I appreciate all the kudos and or all the the great jobs and all that stuff. Listen, I do appreciate that. I don't need that. This is how I won't speak for Ron, but I know you're going to agree with me. This is how I know if we did a good job. This is how any trainer should judge whether they did a good job or not, is if after the training happens, something stuck and production goes crazy. That's when you know you did a good job because people got it. They grasped something. They went and they changed their life. There's nothing more gratifying than being able to give back what you've been given. None of this stuff that Ron and I are talking about right now, we made up. Okay, these aren't like original ideas. I love one trainer said years ago. Uh, all I did was R and B, or I mean R and D, and I'm like, you spent your time doing research and development. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, no, man, I just rip off and duplicate all the successful people. I'm like, all right. And so that's what I started doing. So I appreciate you guys being here. We've been here an hour and 15 minutes, Ron. I hope you guys got some good nuggets. Tomorrow night's presentation will be off the hook. Let's all try to bring at least one guest. Let's
Yeah.
push that sucker to over 150 tomorrow night. I promise you I'll bring the heat. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be fun. We're going to grow this thing. And I know everybody's asking that elephant in the room question. When are we going live? It'll be sooner than you think. It'll be here before you know it. Don't focus on that. Make sure you have at least your 6. So guess what? We go live in November. You ain't paying for your membership in December, right? That's the most important thing. So
Yeah.
appreciate
Yep.
you, Ron. Appreciate all you guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow night on the live Zoom.
Hey, good night, everybody, and God bless.